So I was really bad in my early experiences with the rejection of the building, with finding the money, the bankruptcy, stuff like that. And I'd always say, it's so hard, why is it always me, stuff like that. And I had to get out of that mindset. It was get out of that mindset, or I was going to keep going downhill. So I just started, trying to study a bit, trying to understand, what is going to benefit me, what is causing me. I've been to counsellors in the past many times through different things throughout my life. But I thought I'd just study about what will serve me rather than cause me problems. So I did read the Marine stuff like that, when they sort of, when they're in a war zone situation and they completely lose their mind, they don't know which way to look, they don't know what's going on, and so much anxiety, and you just don't know which way to turn. All they do is they wiggle their toes, and by wiggling your toes, you have to think about your toes. You can't, all these things that are running around in your head, you have to block them out because you have to think about wiggling your toes. You can't do it without focusing purely on that one thing. So that's one thing I started doing. I wiggle my toes. I do it now, and I'm sort of like, I'm back in the room. I remember where I am, all the thoughts kind of calm down. And there's definitely, I was always bad for looking in the future, looking at what could happen, what could go wrong next week, what could go wrong in a year if this happens. What about last week when this happened? Why did this happen to me? All these things have happened in the past. And when we look at the things that happened in the past, that's where depression kicks in, because we're so fixated on what has happened, we're not looking at what's ahead of us. Then we can look too far ahead as well, and that's where anxiety comes from, because we're so focused on all the things that could go wrong that it starts to take over our mind, and that's all we think about. So I've really tried to start to be present, to focus on what's happening right here, right now. What's happened in the past, there's nothing I can ever do about it. It's in the past, we can't go back there. What happens in the future will happen in the future. What I do today, it can possibly have an effect on the future, but it can't change what's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about that. All I can do is what's here, what's right now. And in the first lockdown, I watched the documentary, The Last Dance, Michael Jordan, and one of the best things I've ever seen. And there was one guy on there, and he said that what made Michael Jordan so good at what he did was because he was always in that moment. He was never focused on winning the game. He was never worrying about his last game. He's not worrying about if someone got past him 2 minutes ago, if he missed a shot 10 minutes ago. All he cares about is what's happening right here, right now. And that's one of the reasons he was so great. And loved that documentary. I never expected to cry in it, but yeah, it was brilliant. So for me, I'm still learning to be present. Whatever happens tomorrow, we can influence it today, but we can't change what's going to happen. And like I said, all these things that have happened over the last few years, they're done and they're just a part of my life, and they'll never change, but I can only do what I can to take positives out of it, like the community, the things I've learned, the experiences I've had. And so yeah, for me, being present, and you can apply it to so many different things, just trying to focus on what you're doing right now, and not what other people are doing as well. There's this whole social media thing, and we see other people successful, or what we think is successful. We see amazing relationships, we compare them to our own, and a lot of the time you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and you should really focus on your own thing. And I've learned that, well, especially in business, because right now I'm a business owner. 10 minutes ago I was a general manager, 20 minutes ago I was teaching a class, 10 minutes before that I was a salesperson. A lot of the time we have to find ourselves doing different things, different roles. And I heard you explain before that it's like wearing different hats. It's like, well, I'm a salesperson, I put my sales hat on. I'm a class instructor, now I've got that hat on. Now I'm a business person, I've got that hat on. And we can't wear all the hats at once because they're going to fall off. So we've got to wear one at a time. And you've just got to kind of like learn, and this is not just in business, in life as well. You've got to learn to choose the right hat for the right moment. And that has really helped me, because even though I might be stressing about something that's happening in the business, as soon as a member or potential member walks through the door, my focus is on them. Now I'm a salesperson or just someone trying to help somebody, and all my attention goes to them. I imagine they've got a chain on their neck that says I am the most important person in the world, and for the time I'm with them, I'm focused on them, and the time that I'm a business person, I'm focused on being a business person. So for me, it's being the right person at the right time. Like we were saying earlier, sometimes I can be quite quiet, quite shy, but when someone walks through the door, first thing I'd say is something that someone said to me that's been in business for years. He said, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I've never forgot that, and I know a lot of people say it, but it couldn't be more accurate. And if you are looking to do it, you've got to do your homework. I didn't do my homework enough, and that caused me a lot of issues in the future, but you've got to know your business inside out, back to front. You've got to know how it works for your customer, for yourself, for everyone. You need to know that inside out. You've got to work hard. A lot of people say hard work beats everything, and it does. If you're not prepared to work hard, it's never going to work. If I would have given up, like when we got flooded or something like that, we wouldn't be here today. And you've got to make sacrifices. It's not 9 to 5. I don't think there's such a business as 9 to 5. It is 24/7, 365, whether you like it or not. And if you're not prepared for that, then give it up right now. And it's, as I said, you'll make a lot of sacrifices. If you want to go out, partying and holidays and stuff like that, do it now. Get it done out of the way. For years and years and years, I spent most of my nights out drinking and stuff like that, and I loved it. And now I can't do that anymore. It's very rare that I can do that. I do miss her a bit, but I had to make that sacrifice, and I'm happy that I did. So yeah, hard work. You have to make sacrifices, and you've got to be willing to put everything into it. And make sure the people that are around you, family, friends, relationships, and even the people within your business, the people you work with, the people you employ, the people that are customers in your business, make sure that they're good people and they're the right people that you want to work with and that can help you, so especially your smaller circle. I've had so much support from my family, my friends, and from my partner, and from my colleagues as well, from my staff. They've been brilliant over these last couple of years. So you've got to have a good unit around you, you've got to be prepared to work hard, and you will have to make sacrifices. But I've done it, I've got this far. There's still a long journey ahead, there's a lot of work to be done, there's a lot of building back up to do. The business was probably a 5-year plan to get in a good position. That's probably maybe a 7-year plan now, due to COVID and floods and stuff like that. It delays a lot of things, it holds a lot of things back, and I probably gained another £200,000 worth of debt over the last over the last year or so. But it's in the plan. It will be paid back over the next few years, hopefully. But that's just another part of it. Is however bad things might feel at the time, and it might seem like there's no way out or that there's no way of fixing it, if you look hard enough and you work hard enough and you speak to everyone you can think of, there's normally a way to get through things. There's so many things that this business has been through that I probably thought were impossible when they first happened, probably the flood being the main one. But yeah, if you stick at it, if you don't give up, there's always a way, there's always something. I haven't paid an electric bill for a year, not because I chose to, just because of different things have happened. So I walked into the gym the other day to a bill for £12,000, probably, yeah, just for electric. So probably a year ago, I probably would have had a mental breakdown. I probably thought, oh, I can't do this, I can't afford this, but I've been through so much now, I know that there's always a way. I've contacted the company, we've agreed a repayment term, everything's fine, and I don't think I even stressed for a minute about that. I looked at it, I thought, well, I'm going to deal with it. and now it's done, everything's in place. So, you know, there's definitely challenges, so it's never going to be easy. But to be honest, something I learned recently is some of the most successful people in the world face so many challenges early into their business career that's one of the key things that made them successful. The people that go into business and they have a smooth ride for the first couple of years and everything comes easy to them, as soon as they hit something, they lose it. Yeah, breathe. It depends if I've got time to think about it for that moment. If in that moment someone else is right in front of me, whatever's in front of me takes precedence. So I have to deal with that first, because I can't think about that while I'm trying to deal with this thing. So I make sure everything that's in front of me is done, and then I sit down, I take a look at it, and I think about it properly. And you know, I'm still human. I get disappointed about things. I will think about things. Sometimes I won't sleep at night because of one little thing that's happened in my day. And I try my best to be present and not worry about it, not worry about what's going to happen. But some things just get to me and I can't get past it. But definitely get everything out of the way that you need to and deal with it when you get the opportunity. Even try and sleep on it sometimes, because you can wake up the next day with a completely different angle on the situation, which has happened a lot of times for me. It seemed like the most important thing in the world, and then I have sleep, and then the next day I go, well, no, it's not even that bad. So it's just trying to deal with it in that moment, but definitely don't let it take over your mind instantly. Deal with whatever's in front of you, and then come back to that when you've got the chance.
Keep track of all the things you have to do, like what we sort of use, like a notepad or your phone, or
But how long has the gym been open now? Say before the gym opened, say I'm about 2 years into the gym, I've probably been through over 20 notepads. I write everything down, and I advise that. I learned that years ago in life in general. If you need to remember to do something or something's playing on your mind, write it down, because if you forget about it, you'll panic, and if you don't write it down, it'll stay in the back of your mind and it'll stress you out. So write everything down. Like my notepad in my office is just full of scribbles, but I have a coloured highlighter, and as soon as it's done, it gets highlighted, and then I don't see it anymore. There might be 20 things on that page, but if 10 of them are highlighted, I only see the 10 that are not highlighted, because if it's coloured in, it's done. So that works for me. And if I haven't got my notepad on me, because I don't really carry it with me, because that would stress me out, because I'll be learning. And I write notes on my phone as well. I'm like, right, get it wrote down, transfer it to the notepad if it needs doing, or just get it done as soon as possible. And even if you're trying to get to sleep and there's something on your mind and you can't sleep, write it down, because yeah, you can't remember everything.
Well, yeah, all the things you've been through, you still have your hair, no grays inside. I can't see any grays.
I'm never going to cut in my beard now.
Yeah, I always thought my beard first. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. But I think that's all.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I hope everybody. There's so much in here.